discontinue. I'm not lonely yet. I don't wanna talk about it anymore. Yeah, I'm drinking 'cause I'm more down. I'm not gonna words, in my head, my head, my head. In my head, my head, my head. I've been stuck here for days and I can't seem to let you go. You pulled me up and I put you down. You gave me love, then I stole your crown. You let me in, then I pushed you out. Pushed you out, pushed you out. Come let me make up for all these pain. I've been a mess tied by all these chains. Open my eyes now, I finally see. Shut up, key. Yeah, can we be free?
Welcome to Mount Panorama. Located in New South Wales, Australia, it was opened back in 1938 and has since become one of the most famous racing circuits in the world. Unlike most racing tracks, it is a public road when not being used for racing. Bathurst features a 174 meter drop, or 571 feet, in elevation. But from its different from lowest to high points, this makes one of the most challenging circuits with steep climbs and fast downhill sections. Mount Panorama has hosted everything from endurance, GT racing, and touring cars to open wheel and motorcycle racing. However, the Bathurst 12-hour in GT3 and the Bathurst 1000 in supercars remains the most iconic events, drawing top teams and drivers from around the world. But to be specific about the racing categories, the track has hosted V8 Supercars, TCR, Porsche Cup, and more importantly, the Intercontinental GT Challenge. In CMRSC, we have visited the track in 2021 to 2023 every year for the Bathurst 1000 Virtual, but now for the first time, it features a championship without supercars after skipping over 2024. GT3 events at the Liquid Moly Bathurst 12-hour is one of the biggest endurance races for GT3 cars. It attracts top teams from Europe, Asia, and Australia, It's part of the Intercontinental GT Challenge, a global GT3 championship featuring races across famous tracks like Spa and Suzuka. The track's tight corners and high-speed straights create tough for GT3 cars, which need to be both agility and top speed competitive. The twisty sections like the S-Its favor the cars with better handling, while Concord Straight betters those with top speed, making those setups crucial. It's one of the longest and most challenging circuits in the world, with 6.213 kilometers long, featuring 23 corners, extreme elevation changes, and a mix of tight and technical sections with high-speed straights. Overtaking on the mountain requires pure skill. However, there are a fan-favorite spots to get the job done, including Turn 1, known as Hell Corner. It's a tight left-hander at the end of the start-finish straight. It's great for late-braking moves, but drivers must get a good exit at the last corner to maximize onto the front straight. Griffin's Bend, it's a right-hander at the top of the mountain straight, known as Turn 2. Drivers can draft on the straight and attempt an inside move, but braking 100% needs to be precise. The Chase, turns 20 to 22, the fast overtaking spot located at the end of Conrad Straight. Drivers often reach 290 kilometers per hour before braking hard for a quick left-right chicane. This is where GT3 cars can slipstream and make dramatic late-braking moves. And then Murray's Corner, known as Turn 23, the final corner before the main straight. A slow left-hander is a good place for a last lap dive if a driver gets a good strong exit from the chase. In the world of Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, this will be host to the 5th round of the 2025 GT World Challenge powered by the Racing Rats. Brands Hatch, while shorter than the other tracks on the calendar, still gave us some amazing racing. And you guessed it, Mike Van Doren took his 4th race win in a row, sweeping the first half of the championship. As we enter the second half of this series, our next stop is our first virtual of the year, being the Bathurst 12-hour virtual. After not seeing the track for the first time last year, it hosts the Bathurst 1000 in previous years before. CMRSC quickly returns to the track, not forgetting about it, and now for the first time, we're going to be seeing what GT3 cars can do on the mountain for the first time. Taming it won't be easy, as one wrong line can spoil the party with damage to the cars and could be race ending with one small tap just to the wall. The timing sheets, though, are on fire, with the drivers close to the real-life times, with that real-life record being a 2-minute 1:86 set by Jules Gounon in the Mercedes-AMG GT3 during the 2022 Bathurst 12-hour. Qualifying can give us a show, but we're mainly focused on the 12-hour simulated race that's gonna go down on Saturday. The new era of CMRSC is ready for the first virtual event of the year, and that is the 5th race of 8 now at Mount Panorama, as this is round 5, the Australian GT3 Grand Prix. And his driver's already underway now. Let's get this one underway here. Already 3 wide as we get into turn 1 here. Already 4 wide heading into 1. Andy Reid's in 2nd, Krogsgaard 3rd. They barrel down. Van Doren holds on to the lead as they head into 1.
Dead like a summer sunset, doing things that I shouldn't, but it helps me reset. I'm fucked up, but it's fine, yeah. Anything to forget that it's all in my head. In my head, my head, my head. In my head, my head, my head. Get hold of my head. My head. My head.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, and welcome to the 2025 Bathurst 12-hour virtual. An exciting race coming up for you here today as the drivers are here for the Australian Grand Prix. This is round 5 of the GT World Challenge powered by the Racing Rats, and this is the Bathurst 12-hour, not the Bathurst 1000, GT3 Racing at Mount Panorama. And this is going to be an amazing race, I can tell you that much. The real life race going on right now, the Bathurst 12-hour, going on the same time as us. This is going to be a fantastic race. 20 drivers ready to put down some rubber on the track, and we're going to find out who is going to be taking the top step here today. This is the second half mark of the championship. This is going to be an amazing race. We cannot wait for, as the drivers already putting in their practice on the server here as we watch over turn 1 here. We see Danny Nasir coming past our screens. Let's go around a lap here at Bathurst as we're on the front straight, racing up the mountain, down the dip, and then we head into the actual mountain section, braking just before the 50-meter marker. Into the right-hander, using a bit of the curve, then fast up the left-hander up here. Get onto the brakes as we straighten up the car, rotating the car, and now as we head into the mountain section, it's all about keeping momentum. Into the right, into the left, now going down through the little dip of the double left-hander. Keep the momentum up, keeping the throttle foot down. Into the left-hander once again, flat through here, and then as we start to go down the hill, start to descend and start to get that car slowed down as the corners are going to come into you sharper and sharper and sharper. A little bit wide through there and hitting the wall, and that is what the mountain can do, biting you. But Danny Nasir carries on throughout this lap into the hairpin just before the back straight. Very crucial you get that one right. On the back straight, reaching speeds of 280 kilometers per hour. Just lifting to let Peter go through as Danny Nasir races down. Looks to the kink. Completely flat, but then you want to get right on the brakes as we head just after the 150-meter board. Into the left-hander, into the right-hander. And now, heading into the final corner, Danny Nasir won't be doing that, but Peter will be around the final corner of Murray and across the line. That's a lap here at Bathurst. So the drivers are facing the hardest circuit on the calendar for this GT Championship. But we have a lot of newcomers here, and the first one you're seeing on our screens right now made absolute huge headwaves as practice comes to an end. This, my friends, is Peter Sabzo. He is going to be pulling off a potential here, maybe a first race win in his debut. Only seen it once back at CTMP many years ago in CMRSC, and has not been done since 2023. Now in the 2025 season, Peter Sabzo in the Audi has been looking very, very quick. The Hungarian driver, I believe that is the Hungarian flag. Apologies. That is not the case. I'll correct that in a moment. But Peter has been very quick throughout practice so far, though. We have Andy Rees and Sven, the fastest drivers currently in practice. But overall, this is going to be a very interesting race. So as all the drivers finishing up their last bit of practice, we have some other drivers here in the session. So let's just go through them all. We have Andy Rees. Let's go in order. Andy Rees, David Costa, Peter Sabzo, Sven Vergstein, Ben Turner making his return. Mike Van Dorn, Klaus Klint, Sean Lee, Evan Steinberg, Marlon Young, Stephen Bola, Oliver Bloch, Enzo, Casper Krogsgaard making his comeback here. Lance Sears, Peter goes fastest with a 2-minute 9.58. I think that's actually the fastest lap time we've seen all week long. The first driver to enter into the 2-minute mark, and practice comes to an end. We're not even in qualifying yet. Let's continue our count here. Lance Nasir to Wanto Edgy. We have a new driver here. Davey Doramuro on track, as well as we have Martin Webster trying to get in on the session, having a bit of issues. Ash Hamilton, we hope to be seeing, making it a 20-car field. We are missing a handful of drivers there. You see them on your screens there. Justin is here also making a sign up for this championship, so we might see him in qualifying here, hopefully for the race. Henry Van der Hayden, unable to see them for today. No sign of Ryan Marmiri. Andrew Rupner-Ryan, hopefully we'll see him. Not too sure about our following drivers: Michael McName, Deb Ramsfield, Anderson Biano, Oswin Wilson, DeVille Park, Jaden Harrison, and Daniel Stella. That's your practice complete, though. And drivers, as they sit in pit lane now, getting ready for qualifying. And we are just 38 seconds away from it. So let's get this one started. Let's get this one underway. Because qualifying for the Bathurst 12-hour virtual, it's right here. And it is next. Drivers getting ready here for this qualifying session. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 5th round of the GT World Challenge, powered by the Racing Rats, as the green light comes out on pit lane. Qualifying can begin here for the Bathurst 12-hour. Just waiting on it, as all drivers are sitting pretty. And time is going to change. We should be seeing a evening time around here, giving it a moment here. But there you see all the drivers in pit lane getting ready for this one. But what an event we have for you here today. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on course for 800 subscribers. One thing, the support throughout this past couple weeks, the past 2 weeks, have been phenomenal. We cannot thank you enough. Still waiting on the timer to go through, and there we go. Qualifying is now underway, and we are at the midnight hours. It should be turning up to a dusk, but here we go. Without further ado, qualifying is underway. Drivers now, as they exit pit lane, we can start this one. This is going to be a busy qualifying. Just 10 minutes for the drivers to get their laps in and get them done fast. Let's go trackside now. Let's watch the action here, as Evan is going to lead us off in the Ford. Into the left-hander. It starts to get a lot more tightened up as he now head into the mountain section. Left-hander into the right, into the left. How much momentum? Take a look at the top left. That you're gonna see Evan's pedal cam. How much he's putting throttle, and there you see him as he tries to keep up the momentum. Lots of lifts throughout here as we now get down the hill. At the end of the day, it is still a warm-up lap for these drivers as we start to settle in. But qualifying is going to be a very good one. We're going to see who's going to be taking pole position in one of the hardest circuits on the calendar. Evan, as he enters the back straight, hear that engine whine. Flying past our screens in the Ford Mustang GT3, powered by the Racing Rats. All these cars you see here are amazing, fantastic GT3 mod packs coming from TRR, the Racing Rats. Thank you so much for allowing us to use these amazing mods. We are now in round 5 of 8 in this championship. We cannot wait to see how this one turns out. As Evan comes around Murray's corner, he's going to come around the start-finish line, and we're going to see what a lap is like around Bathurst, heading into turn 1. Hitting the first curb on corner exit, and then racing out onto the first front straight. In the real world, it's the Mercedes that are currently dominating that race, at least in qualifying. As the Ford continues on. Getting the car turned in as we now officially enter the mountain section. Now all hell breaks loose around here as Evan is now going to demonstrate to us what's it like on a push lap. As we go up the mountain section, a little bit off on the power. You can see him getting a little bit nervous as we get a little tight around here. There you see him just wants to put the power down so badly. But it's such a risk and you don't have much time. Now to give you a little fun fact and something to keep up on. The fastest lap time around this circuit in the real world was set by the Mercedes AMG GT3. And just getting that info for you right now, it is a very, very quick lap time of a 2-minute 1:8.6. Remember, we just hit the 2 minutes, 2-minute 9. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what the drivers are going to be able to do around here. But Evan is looking pretty quick, but Sven has already got a purple first sector, as Evan is currently holding on to the second. Goes into the rights and the lefts. And then we head into the final corner. Here we go, hard on the brakes here, left-hander, and then power down. The drivers now are going to be chasing down a 2:04.839. That's the first lap. The drivers are going to be chasing on now, taken by Andy Rees with a 2:03.593. Sven's looking very quick though in the Lamborghini as he comes across the line. Provisional pole is a 2:02.188 from him. Lap time still coming in. Here we see at Murray's now we have Bola and Clint around the final corner. Clint slides in on corner exit. Gonna come across the line, goes up to P8. The Audi behind him of Stephen Bola goes up to 4th, 2:07. Driver's still warming up to the circuit. And we do have somebody heading into the mountain. I think that was Sean Lee. I think he just touched the mountain. Midnight hours around here in this qualifying session as these guys push their absolute hardest. It's going to be the start time, 5:45 a.m. start time. So the drivers got to go through qualifying in the midnight hours. There you see the Lamborghini pushing on hard. First sector is purple. So hard to see in the nighttime, but the driver's got to face it early on. A little bit of a lift in the Lamborghini. Now he heads down the hill. Hopping over the curbs now into the left-hander. Missing the inside there. Could have taken a bit more of that curb. Lifting and now going downhill into the hairpin. Beautiful braking. Accelerate. Look how close you get to that part. Close to the wall. I saw Casper for a moment. I think he just got out the way. Van Dorn with a 2:06.304. And we got ourselves a very interesting qualifying here already. So you see Evan going past our screens in the Lamborghini, still pushing very hard. One corner to go for him. And let's see what Sven can do in the Lamborghini. Coming through Murray's corner. Let's see what lap time this one's gonna be. 2:02.188 is gonna go down to a 2:01.645. Costa improves his time. He's second on the front row. Times are gonna get quicker. And drivers still coming around. Let's see our next couple of drivers. Enzo I do see Tazwanto just in the background, as well as Bola coming across the line. No improvements from much of them. Tazwanto's going to go up to P15. Stephen Bola's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him. He's a bit quicker than these guys here. The Audis are looking very quick around here, but it's Verkstein who's going to take it into the pits, probably going to fuel up, going to go for one last run around here. So far, previous pole positions, Aston Martin, Mike Van Dorn. Aston Martin, Mike Van Dorn. That was with the British and the German Grand Prix. The Italian Grand Prix went once again to Mike Van Dorn in the Aston Martin. The first round went to the BMW of Andy Rees. This time, however, the Lamborghini could be taking a first-time pole position as the third different manufacturer to take pole in this championship. Audi is looking pretty good up there. Don't forget about them. Peter, I'm still waiting for him. Takes it into the pits, looking for a good time to come out. But looks like I don't see him not coming out yet. He was fastest in practice. May not be risking it here for another lap time. Confident with the lap, not too sure. His qualifying may be over. 2 minutes left to go. We're watching Andy Rees now as we go on board with him as he head up the mountain. 48.642 is the time to beat in the first sector. Can he take it down from Verkstein? 5/10 down in the first sector. The BMW is not quick in that first sector. Sven cannot improve either. A lot of the drivers just rushing now to get to the start-finish line. Guys like Casper and Costa now coming around to Murray's. Into the final corner now. Accelerating out. That's the one corner you don't want to get wrong. David, middle sector, purple. 202.313. Personal improvement. And still looking for the latter half of these drivers. There we see Steinberg with an amazing P5 so far. This is looking very, very nicely for him. 20 drivers on track here. Hopefully we get 22. Martin Webster. I think we actually got Martin in the session now. Yes, we do. Martin's been having a lot of issues trying to get into the session, so we're very happy to see him in. I think Ash Hamilton is another driver who has been getting some issues. Waiting to see if he can get in as well. Looking down the order. Not many drivers improving. I think they're all just racing to the line. Sven is one of them as he comes across now. He's going to start his lap, so he actually did come around in time. Andy Rees has taken down David Costa's time. Andy now is on a flyer. P2 on the timing board. One thing's for sure, Van Dorn is struggling a little bit around here. P7. But remember, it's racing. Look how close he got to the wall as well. He's pushing hard. Mike Van Dorn may be a driver to watch. We're going to stay on with them. Time is coming down here. Oh, a little bit over the curb. One driver ahead of him. Checkered flag is out, though. P20 of Michael McName is going to put down his first and only lap time. Is it going to be a valid one? I'm not too sure. And I'm pretty sure he just got across the lap time. Oh, and Van Dorn hits the wall. His qualifying's over. He stays 7th. Could get lower. Next couple drivers are coming across the line. P15 up the road, as well as Evan. Gonna look at him. That's Lance Nasir. I think that was Sean Lee just entering the pits. We're gonna see what Steinberg can do around the final corner. No improvements overall in the sectors. Come across the line. 2 seconds off. One thing's for sure, we're getting some more improvements around the laps. Sven is purple in the first sector. We cannot see it on our timing sheets. I don't know why we're not seeing it there. Middle sector we're waiting for gets a little bit wide on the hairpin. Couple drivers entering the pits. Costa's in the pits as well. Look at our final 2 drivers. Clint goes up into P8 with his lap time there. P12 and P10 are together. That's Enzo and Steven. As they come around Murray's here for this final lap here in qualifying, they both come across the line. No improvements from Enzo. The Audi now, we're going to see anything can be done. No, but Sven eyes are on him. Let's see what he can do. Is this a lap time that we can watch to the very end? It's not going to be improvement. It's 5/10 off. Andy Rees, final chance. No, enters the pits. P9. Oliver Bloch now in the Ferrari. He's going to come across the line. It's not going to be pole position. It's going to be P9 for him. P18 of Ben Turner's going to shoot himself up to 7th position. knocking down his fellow Aston Martin. One car left to go on track. It is Martin Webster. And he takes it straight to the pits. That's going to be qualifying done. And ladies and gentlemen, a Lamborghini has taken pole position. It's Sven, the Dutchman. Another Dutch driver will take pole position here with a 2:01.645. What a qualifying that was. And we're going to be uploading the live qualifying replay to the drivers and to you guys. Let's congratulate them. All right, congratulations to your top three. That is Sven, Andy, and David.
Well, before you go on, there's issues in here. There's laps we're doing. I did a 2:06 something. Other people did laps. It's not registering. I exited, try to come back in. I'm getting handshake fail. I exited like 3 times, and then now I got back in. But about 3 or 4 of us, our laps weren't registering. Why is that?
I'm not too sure if you can get away with hitting the wall.
No, I don't
When
even think, I didn't touch
did
the
you?
wall, no.
I didn't hit it. My laps were registering as well. I didn't even hit anything. It was a clean, valid lap, and it said so on my race essentials.
All right, then I'm not too sure about that because so far that I saw in the session, a lot of guys were getting their laps counted. So I'm not too sure
Yeah,
why
but-
this
Yeah, but mine wasn't counted.
Did you guys leave when the server was transitioning into qualifying? If you did, that might be an issue. You had to wait in the server till the session actually starts. When that timer ran down, there was still a little bit of a wait time to actually have it started because the server time was changing over. But still, it's
No, you see the thing. The thing is, I joined when qualifying happened, so I don't know about that.
The same thing with me. I joined while qualifying was started already.
So you joined the server when qualifying started, or before qualifying started?
After qualifying started.
Then I'm not too sure then.
It's a standing start for this one, correct?
Yeah, it's gonna be standing start. We'll investigate that issue, but nonetheless, though, that's qualifying, and we're gonna get racing started now. So it's gonna be standing start. Standing start. Standing start. Once the lights go out, go racing. Remember, no VSCs, no cautions. Even if there is a crash on turn 1, keep it racing, guys.
Did Martin get in?
Yeah, Martin's in.
Yep.
Guys, just to make sure. Also, just make sure when you start, make sure that you don't put too much power in, or you might just spin off the start. Just make sure.
Overall, guys, this is going to start at 5:45 a.m. and it's going to go until 5:45 p.m. So once you get to the halfway distance in this race, it'll probably after maybe 10 minutes of racing, it'll be bright. 30 seconds left to go. Good luck, guys.
So most of the race is going to be...
Drivers on your screen! Drivers about to get underway! It's the Bathurst 12-hour virtual! Here we go! GT3 Racing at its finest, waiting for the lights! Here are the lights! 3, 4, 5 lights for the 5th round of the championship! We go racing! Sven with a great start in the Lamborghini takes the lead! Cost on the inside! Beamer gets it wrong, slides to the outside. Van Dorn gets it wrong as well. Sean Lee off the track as well. Oliver blocks through there. Enzo, Marlon, Martin, the drivers get through. Let's see what the drivers can do up the road now. And we already have a yellow flag sector 1 as a couple drivers still getting their way through. Danny Nasir is one of them. But Sven leads it off. David second, Peter in third, Evan fourth. All the drivers heading through, and let this mountain section begin. 45 minutes on the counter. Still yellow flags being deployed, but it should hopefully be cleared as they come around. So David in second, and there you see all the drivers powering through, but it's the Lamborghini out in front who has just sent it and left the competition behind. Two Audis just ahead. We're watching on board with Evan as we now descend down the mountain section. Midnight hours. Well, it's actually 5:45. Don't let that time on the top fool you there. It's not 1 p.m. Heading downhill now into the hairpin. As they head through now onto the front straight, couple of drivers getting it all wrong into the mountain section. Yeah, there you see them. They're all a little bit backed up as they try to foul through. But look at the gap that's already been created. Sector 3 yellows, that's where all those drivers desperately trying to get through to the mountain section. But around the final corner, here comes the Lamborghini as he comes across on the first lap here. In for this Bathurst event. Sven leads us off. And the drivers all single file. Sean Lee gets it wrong into the chase. So, already a crazy start here. And the podium, nowhere to be seen of the championship leader, Mike Van Doorn. He's currently sitting in 8th position, ladies and gentlemen. He is struggling a little bit out here in this early stage of the race. Looking, who's another close driver? Ben Turner, he's trying to get a piece of the action here. Trying to head up. He's got Evan up ahead. Hits the wall, though. Andy Rees, big chance for him. Remember, he's second in the championship. And Casper drive-through for speeding in the pit lane. First drive-through. We were able to get away in the British Grand Prix for no penalties as such. So trying to get rid of that yellow flag there. I think we should be good now. So no more yellow flags on track. Evan spins it. Evan goes sideways. Collects the drivers. And there might be a pileup on the mountain. No, it's not. The drivers get clean. Wow, Mike Van Doorn just about going to be able to go side by side with Evan. It's a tight section on the track. Van Doorn goes through. Evan makes a mistake. Lots of drivers hustling through the mountain. Anything and everything can go wrong through there. Chaos ensues in the mountain. Poor Evan has just gone from P4 to P8 in a blink of an eye. One mistake will cost you the most. Evan's coming back at him though. Mike Van Doorn struggling. Here they come on the straight into the chase. Dives it down the inside and the Ford cannot get the move done. Pass it back out, try again. Sven, fastest lap of the race. As they all go through, P10 had a bit of yellows. Oh, and it's trouble. Marlon Young misses the braking point or something is snapped in the rear. Is reversing, hits the wall. Gets it all wrong. In 5 minutes complete, so much action has gone down here at Bathurst. It's insane. Andy Rees in 4th position. And Van Doorn 7th position. So he's slowly trying to catch up. Up next, he's got Oliver Bloch in the Ferrari. Oliver's teammate 2 positions ahead. Going a little bit wide there is Van Doorn trying to chase down the Ferrari. Sun is slowly coming up. Oh, in trouble! Oliver hits the wall! Gets it going, loses all his momentum. Here comes the McLaren of Klaus Klitt trying to get through. Gaps are already being increased now. Costa and Sabot already improving and getting the hell out of the pack of racing, so the 2 Audis can now start to hunt down the Lamborghini. And Steven saying, all things considered, Evan got away with that mistake. Usually the mountain bikes harder than that. Indeed, he just about got it saved. And not to mention, he got himself in trouble on the tightest part of the track. Here we go, though. Side by side, and Peter's got the move done on Costa. In its debut race, Peter Sabot goes up in the second. He can start to work on the leader. Costa getting slipstream, nothing you could do about it, truly. It's hard racing for the few. Sven, however, still with the fastest lap. Another one. Taking some more points on the board. Oh, and Marlon hits the wall there as he heads on to the mountain. Peter is taking up third purple sector away from Sven's fastest lap. Let's look down the order for more battles here. We have Oliver Bloch trying to defend hard from Klaus. Klaus has now closed up that gap even more. I think Sean Lee has just got over just Watto in the BMW. He was also in the McLaren. You can slowly see the sun is about to come up. Daytime for these drivers so they can finally see a bit more and start to race hard. So far, I believe we've already lost a couple, have we? I'm not too sure. I think we did. Yeah, we did. Enzo is out of this one, as well as Casper. And that is a shame, and it's one thing we do not want to see. Drivers quitting out early. Lance this year goes up into 14th position. We can see now this close battle here. We want drivers to be racing all the way to the very end because anything and everything can go down in a 45-minute race. We've seen it so many times. But nonetheless, though, for the drivers who are still keeping this one alive and surviving, Mike Van Dorp just got a notification that he did touch the wall somewhere. He's got a handful of damage on his car. He's keeping it going, however. But the two Danish drivers are starting to get a little bit closer now to that pack, as Klaus now still chasing down Oliver Bloch. Into the hairpin section. There you can see how close the McLaren's going to get. The Ferrari now gets a better exit, and they're going to start to slipstream each other. Here we go. Gaining, and gaining looks to the outside. Oliver keeps his car in the middle of the circuit. As Sven, another fastest lap of the race. Here we go. They're going to go side by side into the chase. Backs off wisely. It's a very quick corner. That could cause a plane crash if those drivers go through. But as drivers continue now. As they go up and over the hill now into the downhill section. And now going up the mountain, you can see Evan. He's trying to chase down. He's not that far off of Van Dorn. As we see now, Bola gets past Lance Nasir in the Audi. Goes through as they head into the chase. Gaps are slowly starting to open up, especially for the leader. Gap is now 6.7 seconds. This championship has really been dominated by the Dutch drivers. And this one is absolutely huge. So many battles going down. Let's see this one once again. The sun is finally showing itself out just a little bit more. Going down the hill now as we have Sean Lee. Oh, he hits the wall. Martin Webster also trouble. Oh, they were facing the wrong way. No, Webster's facing the wrong direction. Martin Webster needs to rotate that car. He's in a safe spot. Sean gets going. Trouble for the Guyanese. Needs to get it rotated. Oh, and he's a roadblock. Trouble. Danny Nasir. Yellow flags came out, but Webster, what was he doing there?
Martin.
Dan, you hear Danny Nasir. Not happy whatsoever. Just saw a car facing the middle of the track. Martin Webster facing the wrong way and going at the wrong way. I don't know if he was trying to get it rotated, but that is very unfortunate. Back up to this battle, though. And not seeing the likes of Michael McName in the session, so another retirement, I believe, came from him. And Marlon Young is out as well. The mountain is biting a lot of these drivers, and we've seen it throughout every single year we have been to Bathurst. Of course, except for 2024, because we have not been there. This is the first time we're here this year. So, who is going to survive the mountain by the end of this race? That's the question. How many drivers? We entered with 20 drivers in for this race. We've already lost 4 drivers in the opening stages. We have just hit over 10 minutes into this race. So much has transpired in this one. And really starting, as we slowly start to settle down now, the gaps are starting to open up. Checking audio levels, making sure everything is fine and dandy. As pit lane is looking a bit busy, Sean Lee enters the pits as well as Danny Nasir. Knows that he has damage on the front of his car as well. So they're all sitting in pit lane. Meanwhile, this battle between Oliver Bloch and Klaus Klint continues on, and Oliver slides it, gets it wrong, and Klaus will say, "Thank you very much, I will go through." And that is called forcing a driver into an error. Klaus goes through. So Klaus is going to get through now, and he's going to start to race into the sunrise. Now you see Webster is going to be lap traffic for Andy Rees. Andy currently sitting in 4th position, trying to chase down the drivers ahead. Meanwhile, let's take a look at a couple more drivers. We're seeing that. Is Sean Lee coming out of pits very soon? He's been sitting in there for a while. Still waiting for him to come out. Nonetheless, though, our leader, Sven, still holds on to the top. Followed by P2 in his debut race, Peter Zabot in the Audi, 3rd position. Currently a career best, and I think he just hit the wall. Yes, he did. Costa hit the wall there. In the Audi. Oh, and he spun it. Loses the rear end, gets it going. That's not going to help him. Andy Rees is coming up soon. Costa lighting up those tires. Gets it going, power down, smoke coming out the rear of the Audi. Lots of battle scars on that car. And you can see Andy Rees has a potential to get up into the podium. And he's got no one behind him for now because Ben Turner is pretty far away, but he is going to be contested now against Van Dorn. Here we go, big chance for some moves to be done. On board now with the Dutchman. Into the chase. Into the chicane now, to the lefts and rights. They see Evan in the background trying to keep up. They're just about falling suit to the championship leader. Into Murray's corner exit. Coming across our screens there. Ben Turner, previous lap time 2:05.2. Mike Van Dorn 2:04.844. Van Dorn is quicker and he's closing up. Gap is still a second, however. Meanwhile, we also have another battle on our hands here. Klaus Klint and the Ferrari of Oliver Bloch. Oliver now chasing back down Klaus. Peter Sabot, purple in the first sector. He's pushing hard. 48.639 against a 48.870 for the current lap of the leader right now. And so he's starting to push just that little bit harder. Meanwhile, a little tap on the wall for Van Dorn as he continues. Ooh, you see how close he gets to it. What an exciting race this has been so far. Andy Rees calling out blue flags to Lance Nasir, gets it through on a very, very dangerous section of the circuit. Meanwhile, these guys are going to come up to Lance Nasir as well, who should be on the back straight. However, we go between them. Let's see what they can do. Wide entry for Van Dorn. Gets the power down, and they're on the back straight now. Take a look at the gap now. 6.1, 6.74. Sven, fastest lap of the race. 2:01.668. Slipstream engaged for the Aston. And if I was Evan, I would be praying that these drivers up the road can just have a little bit of a fun battle as I catch up. Meanwhile, here comes Oliver now, trying on the slipstream against the McLaren. Slipstream following the McLaren. Bumpy section as they head into the chase. Does he go for a move? Oh, he sends it! Oliver, too much, goes off the track! Way too much sauce for him. Gets off the loud pedal. And Oliver's gonna have to try again later. Meanwhile, first lap traffic, a bit of lap traffic for Sven as he passes Steven, who's currently sitting in P11. If I was a betting man, I'd feel like the leader is gonna potentially be able to lap almost all the drivers for the first time in this championship. Sven has been very consistent and very quick. He's putting down some amazing lap times, and the points are really going to help him a lot in this championship, especially considering championship leader is nowhere near the podium. He's got his own fish to fry with a car that he's driving just like his own. Aston Martin against Aston Martin. Both drivers, you see them running out of road, almost touching the wall. Mike Van Dorn, look how close he gets there onto the outside wall, pushing with all his might. He knows he needs to get the job done right about now. Oh, and there's smoke up the road. It's Webster. Oh, it's the championship leader. Hits him. Trouble on the mountain once again. Flick spins it, gets it going. Van Dorn. Hard damage. And there you see Evan side by side. It's deja vu early on. And the same spot that Evan ever got overtaken by Mike. Mike gets overtaken by Evan. Spinning Aston Martin on the mountain section as they get downhill now on the back straight. Evan got a move done, but can he hold on? Amazing stuff. The Ford has been so amazing getting his moves done. Side by side. Is Evan gonna give up this battle? Who's it gonna be? Into the chase. Side by side action. Hard on the brakes. Mike squeezes the Ford. The Ford has the inside. They're still door to door. Van Dorn goes a little bit wide. Murray's to go. Mike can slide it down the inside. Mike's gonna actually take it to the pits. And Mike Van Dorn realizing he has a bit too much damage to hold off. Evan is gonna go through. And that's a bang for your buck right there. Evan's gonna go up to 6th. Absolutely monumental action here at Bathurst. You can't get it anywhere else. Wow, that is amazing. And Evan has really been such a huge improvement in this championship. Definitely one of the breakout stars of this year. And I cannot wait to see what the future holds for Evan, because that, my friends, that is an early championship kind of drive from that young man. I haven't seen moves like that so daredevilish from a rookie since the likes of a man you may have heard in our past, Luca Andretta. That is like a young Luca cutting it up in the mountain section. Wow, call him Takumi Fujiwara. Meanwhile, let's continue this race here. We got some amazing racing still left to go in this final 24 minutes. We should be hitting midday here, 12 p.m. as we are hitting the halfway mark of this race. So Andy Rees in the BMW in P4 has still got some work to do as Sven, another fastest lap. You got to imagine how many fastest laps does he have in him before he slips up just a little bit, if he's going to slip up. Because right now, he's pushing with all his might. Meanwhile, Oliver is starting to close up that gap on Klaus. Such an entertaining race. One thing's for sure, though. Peter is, in trouble, hits the wall. And we also have another overtake there. Actually, it was in the pits that went to David Costa. So not an official on-track overtake, just a pit lane overtake. But Oliver's going to make his life hard as he hits the wall on corner exit, especially doing it onto the straight. Not going to help his case at all. So drivers are going to start to leapfrog over each other in as drivers head in for their pit stops. So far, pit stops have only been made by the following drivers: Danny Nasir, Mike Van Dorn, David Costa. Your pit lanes, your drivers who have headed into the pits thus far. Still, as we enter the halfway stage, that's usually the time where a lot of drivers start to enter pits. Webster also in there, looks like. Yes, he is. No, he's retired. Martin Webster is out of this race. That's a huge shame for X-Play. Goes bad to worse. Martin was having a lot of issues getting in, and mistake after mistake on the mountain has cost him big time. He is out of this race. Do we see, yeah, Marlon Young's out, so X-Play completely wiped out. The mountain biting so many drivers. I think, are we down to 13? Yes, we are. 13 left, but still, lots of action coming down here as Bola gets past the BMW of Tazwanto. I think Lance Sincere just made contact, and ooh, the damage on that car. You can see it's filled with black paint. I can promise you that Lance did not encounter a squid, but more rather, I think that's a glitch with the damage model on these cars. That should be patched in a future update, that's for sure. Lance is here just trying to make sure he does not lose out some positions, but Danny Nasir is closing up very fast, actually. Oh, Danny actually hit the wall twice. He's bouncing left and right as Andy Rees is in pit lane for his mandatory tire change pit stop. All drivers have to come in once, make their tire change, but it's going to be very interesting to see what Andy Rees can do. Because remember, he's racing against David Costa, who was also in 3rd position. We're going to see, has Costa been able to keep his pace up and not be overcut by Andy Rees. The BMW on pit exit. And he's gone out, and actually he has gone ahead. Andy Rees is up in the 3rd position and holds it. Costa was not quick enough to come around to reclaim back his 3rd position. So Andy stays ahead. Evan currently in 4th position, but I believe he has to make a pit stop. Yes, he does. So, heading into the mountain now. David also going up. Alright, I'll check that. Did not get a message from race control. We're just gonna figure that out here. Do you still have that? Alright, so normally we would be seeing penalties from our screens, but when the drivers somehow get a thing on their screen, we can just clear it. So meanwhile, as we continue this race on, we get that issue cleared. Peter, oh, Evan goes wide. Let's through David Costa. Peter and Sven have entered the pits. That's P1 and P2 together. Evan losing out, goes very deep. He needs to make a pit stop anyways. Meanwhile, the Lamborghini has made his changes onto the car. He's gone. The Lambo gets going now. Peter gets through. So, game on for P1, P2. It's going to be Peter against Sven. And we're going to see, can Peter close up the gap? Because remember, in practice, Peter set the fastest lap of a 2 minutes. 2 minute.
I didn't see him, man.
9/10. Getting some radio there from Lance, but nothing can be said there. As leader hits the wall! That is Sven touching the wall on the outside! Losing a bit of momentum, I think he hit the wall a 2nd time. Gap's gone down! Oliver also having trouble, looks like on the straight coming out the mountain. Sven is struggling, he hit the wall hard! And that car is all over the place! That is huge for the race leader! He's catching up to some lap traffic right now. And Bola is gonna let go as soon as he can. Let's go now on that hairpin, so very smart on him to get that one through. As Sven now goes through, Steven is gonna allow him because of lap traffic. Blue flags for him, so he needs to get out the way. Nonetheless, though, trouble as Sven hits the wall. You got to imagine how much can this newcomer to CMRSC push in the form of Peter Sabot in his debut race. Can he pull off a miracle here in Australia, taking a race win, an iconic race win it would be? He's got some work to do. 18 minutes and 6 seconds. It's possible, but you need to give us a champion's drive if you want to get that one done. He may be the fastest one of the fastest drivers in practice. In fact, he was the fastest over the week of the active drivers. But now you got to put all that into practice here. Trouble for Ben Turner. I believe he hit the wall somewhere on the track. Now Ben has made his pit stop and he was able to get ahead of Van Dorn. Remember, Van Dorn came into contact with Martin Webster on the exit of the mountain as they headed down it, so Van Dorn's win streak is gone, that's for sure. It's all about damage limitation now and trying to hold on as we head into the second half of this championship. We'll let you know how that championship is turning out into the points, because as it stands, it's still Van Dorn who's going to take the lead of this championship. Behind him, Van Dorn's got 106, Andy Rees with 48 points. Sven has 18 points. He's currently sitting in 8th position overall in the standings. He's going to get a juicy bump. He's going to get ahead a lot of these drivers. P3 and P4 of the championship, Krogsgaard and Marlon Young will not score points, so that's going to be a huge bump to those drivers, including Evan, who should be shooting up into possibly 3rd or 4th in this standings. As meanwhile, we're getting some word that Tazwanto has tapped the wall a couple times, as well as Costa. Oh, and he slides there, hits the wall as well. Evan also contact with the wall. These are little taps on the wall, I'm assuming, from these drivers. And meanwhile, as all that goes down, Andy Rees is purple in the 2nd sector. Sven is purple in the 3rd sector at a personal best. As lap traffic down here, Klaus is in a battle of his own. And Lance Nasir has to get through, just about gets through, hits the wall, however, and Lance Nasir gets tapped there.
No.
Oliver Bloch forcing it through, trying to get past Lance Nasir. I think Lance lost his balance there, not realizing that there were 2 cars going through. And I think he just lost his balance there. But this battle continues. Klaus desperately trying to hold off against Oliver Bloch. A battle that's been going all race long. Goes a little bit wide, the driver from Valhalla against the Andy Masu Racing driver of Oliver Bloch. Fellow countrymen to each other. But it's still war between them. Here we go. Does the Ferrari make a move into the chase? That's the big question. No, he doesn't. Does he go for a diver on the inside? We saw one time ago. Goes for it anyways. Slides it down the inside. Oh, it's contact. Oliver, way too much, once again misses his braking point for another time. This time it's led to contact, and it's led him into the grass. And you hear them.
Yeah, you bulldozed me out to the way. I know you bulldozed him.
No, you gotta give space, Lance. You gotta give space.
And you hear the drivers, you hear Oliver trying to get through of Lance Nasir. Lance was not too happy that he was essentially bulldozed out the way. I don't know if there was contact. Nonetheless, though, Klaus survives for another day. 13 minutes and 52 seconds, still and counting left to go. Peter is not gaining on the race leader at the moment. The gap, in fact, has actually increased 7.4 seconds now to the leader is Peter. So as we come down to it, 13 minutes left to go. This race has really flown by. And what amazing action we have had here in this race. This championship is not over yet. We are in the second half of this championship. Next round, we head to Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix. It is at Paul Ricard. It is the exact same layout. We saw the GT World Challenge 2024 happen. It was round 1, the French Grand Prix. Paul Ricard's the fast layout. So, can't wait to see what happens around there. Should be a great one, that's for sure. Andy Rees, as he's starting to push on now. He's 15 seconds behind P2. But any mistake could help out Andy in this case as he continues to push on. But he's got a lot of work to do. Let's look at all our drivers from last to first. Let's start off the active drivers, of course. Let's start off with Juswanto, the Indonesian driver now, as he pilots his BMW, just about surviving through the mountain. He's got quite a bit of damage on that car. He's trying to keep this one held on. He's got 12 minutes left to go to complete this race. So hang in there, Juswanto. We are watching you as he heads into the corner right there, hitting the apex. Up into 12th position, it's Lance Nasir. Once again, that damage model not looking too pretty on that car. Remember, just a little bit of a bug on the mod pack's end, but should be fixed very soon. But Lance Nasir, currently P12, was in the points, as he now has race leader Sven, which we are going to talk about in just a moment. But the Mercedes, he continues on P12. P11, the McLaren, Danny Nasir, had trouble at the start of this race and has to play catch up now. He's about 11 seconds behind Steven Bola and 11 minutes left to go. If he can pull a second a lap and be lucky, if Bola makes a mistake, he can get that position. But Steven has been flying around here pretty well, I will say. There you see Steven, your driver in the top 10 in the points section. As we did just get word that Van Doren has hit the front end of his car. So not going to help his case. The driver behind him, it's Klaus, but quite far away. Bola in the points, going to take one for him. In P9, it is Evan, and he's got some lap traffic ahead of him. Gets through. Has to be a little bit patient on the mountain. It's not that easy, that's for sure, to get going. And I think we have trouble on the final corner for someone there. I'm not too sure who it was, or I think it was turn 1. I think a couple drivers just hitting the wall on the mountain section. Nonetheless, though, Evan had an amazing start to this race, was in the top 4, and one mistake costed him big time. He went from 4th to 8th by just losing the rear end as they went down the mountain. Granted, it could have been worse, and so he's happy to steal some points, but you gotta say, man, when is that good luck gonna get to him? Making unforced errors on his own. Remember, back to the last round for the British Grand Prix, you saw Evan. He was up into 4th position and then touched the grass on quarter exit all by himself, loses the back end, goes down to the 6th. But as Evan slowly improves his racecraft, race after race after race, can't wait to see what he can do in the future of this championship. Next up is P8 of Oliver Bloch. Oliver has had a great battle between himself and Klaus Klint. Him and Klaus, the two dangerous drivers, have given us some great fireworks, and I don't think it's going to be quite over. The gap now is 3.4 seconds on the Ferrari. Looking pretty confident, but with the amount of damage that Oliver has picked up in this race, you got to imagine how much longer can he hold on for in this one. Up into P7, Klaus Klint, the driver who has been able to hold off in the McLaren, trying to keep as consistent as possible, has not made many mistakes, Very good for him. He's currently in 7th position. P6, your championship leader. If you've been watching the entire championship and have now tuned into this round, well, we have some word for you. Because Mike Van Doren, for the first time in 2025, is not going to win a race. His race win streak is come to an end here. It's not fully come to an end. Anything can still happen, but as it stands, he's 6th place right now. And he has got some work to do to try to catch up. The next driver is 13 seconds up the road of this man, Ben Turner. And the British driver, as he's just lapped Stephen Bola, in the other Aston Martin, has looked very, very quick. Unfortunately, lost ground to the top 3 and has gone down to 5th position. But either way, had a great battle with Van Doren, but after contact with Van Doren in the back marker, it has allowed Ben to hustle through. P4, David Costa. David was on the podium, but I believe just making a bit of a mistake here and there, and a lot of the drivers turning up their pace, including Andy Rees, who pulled a great overcut on David Costa, has allowed him to go through. So David, not going to be the podium dream just yet. However, 8 seconds in 7 minutes and 26 seconds, it's possible. It is possible, but can he get the move done on the BMW of Andy Rees? Andy has looked very confident in practice and qualifying, looked very well. But now, in this race here, has gotten up onto the podium. Last week out, he finished in 2nd position. And this week, he's got 13 seconds to P2. But if he cannot get it done, 15 points on the board, not too shabby, as the championship picture goes down now between himself and Mike Van Doren. P2, Peter Sabot, debut race for him in the Audi. And the first race at Bathurst, that's very confident, that's for sure. But Peter was the fastest in practice. Overall in the week, he was the fastest. But remember, you may have the fastest car, but it all comes down to how you race it. Peter was fastest all week long, but maybe if Peter was not in traffic and he was able to push through against David Costa, who knows what would have happened. One thing's for sure, it's no match for the driver currently in P1, the Lamborghini, the Dutchman of Sven Versteeg. And Sven, just an amazing dominant race from him. You gotta give him credit. He has done anything and everything to keep the lead at the start of this race, and he booked it. As soon as lap 1 was done, he had already opened the gap to 2 seconds, and he pushed it. A purple 3rd sector, as we talk about him now. He holds the fastest lap of the race. 27 points will go to his name. It'll be pole position, 1 point. It'll be fastest lap, 2 points. 25 points will go to the race winner, and if it's Sven, 27 will go to his name. We'll shoot him up the order from P7. It should be into the top 3, potentially, in this championship. That's all your drivers here. They're all racing to the checkered flag with 5 minutes left to go as we are just about to head into the, I believe around 4 p.m. we are here on track time. And there is Oliver Bloch, 5 minutes to go. There's the warning. As Oliver now 2.6 seconds as the leader is behind him. And there you see the Ferrari trying to push on now to the McLaren up the road. It's not impossible, that's for sure. Klaus is holding it off well. Let's get that rear cam. There you see the Ferrari closing up the gap. Is this going to be a great battle coming to the end of this race? I hope so. Because Oliver Bloch has gone through so much hell in this one to keep up. He's got to let through the Lamborghini behind him of the race leader, but he's going to get his merry way through. If I was Oliver, I'd let him through now, and he does. And now follow Sven because he needs to overtake Klaus, and if Klaus goes offline for one of these corners, it's a chance for Oliver to capitalize on a move. So this is going to be a pretty interesting dynamic unless Klaus can hold off the race leader without holding him pace-wise, get him on a straight, and get the easiest time to get him through. Gap's 2.1 seconds now. Klaus is dragging it onto the second straight. And this is the idea he's got in his mind. I'll give the leader through once I get onto the straight I prefer to get on. It's very smart how he's treating lap traffic. So Sven's gonna now go through on the driver in P7. Looking at previous lap times, 2:08.2 from Klaus, 2:06.7 from Oliver. Oh, a little bit wide there as Sven pushes very hard. That's actually a perfect line through there, not even wide at all. Gap is down a second now, so it has helped. And let this battle continue. Oliver Bloch, Klaus Klint has had such an amazing fight here for this Bathurst 12-hour. Lap traffic once again. It's Lenz is here, same spot, gets out the way. So they can continue on now. And we're going to find out who is going to be your driver for P7. This is going to be a highlight, that's for sure. Here we go. Down the mountain section they go. Klaus still holds on, but Oliver right on his tail. Oliver Bloch, Klaus Klint, both drivers, Danish drivers. They understand each other. They understand their language, and on track, they definitely will put all gloves off. Here we go. Onto the back straight. And you gotta wonder how quick is that Ferrari gonna be able to push on? Can he get into the slipstream in time? As we are just 2 minutes and 5 seconds away, plus 1 lap to go. Into the chase now. McLaren still holding off. Gap is still about 9/10. Now Oliver has had 2 chances at an overtake. Both of them he got wrong. So you gotta wonder now, how is he gonna get the move done this time? Into Murray's lockup from Klaus goes wide. Oliver a good exit there. Let's take a look at those lap times. Klaus with a 2:08.0. Oliver 2:06.7. Oliver quicker than Klaus. You gotta imagine now, if I was Oliver Bloch, where do I make the move? No drivers behind P8. So he's got some work to do now. Gap is opened up to a second. 1.2 seconds with 1 minute to go. Klaus is doing very well to hold off in that McLaren. Coming down. 1 minute to go. And Sven should be on the 2 to go. Once that timer expires, he's going to have 1 lap after it. So 2 laps to go for the leader. 8/10 the difference now between Klaus and Oliver. Oliver getting a lot more confident over the mountain. So close. Hits the curb on the inside. You can see how much he's pushing. He's got the rear cam of Klaus as they go down the hill now. Keep the car stable as possible. Look how much Oliver has just thrown it in. He's got nothing to lose, all to gain. A little bit of smoke, tire smoke coming out into the hairpin section. Oliver, square this corner up and he'll have a chance. Or will he have it earlier? I don't know if Klaus just hit the inside wall, but it looked very awkward for him. He did hit the wall. So now, chance. But you see the McLaren just able to hold off the Ferrari. Timer has expired. It's going to be 2 to go at the line. It's actually 2 to go right now. They're going to have 1 lap to go. You're going to see the white flag on the top of your screen. Oliver close up the gap even more into the chase. Great exit from Bloch. Klaus struggling now. It's just 2/10 heading into Murray's. You got to wonder, where does Oliver put this move? Klaus defends the inside. Oliver just follows through. Holds his line off now. Crossing over the start-finish line. 1 lap to go at Bathurst. Oliver, Klaus. 1 to do it. Who's going to take 7th position? Our closest battle we have on track. It's been an entertaining battle between these two as they head up the mountain now. Evening as we head into the 5 p.m. time zone here. Peter in the pit lane has exited. Has Peter now made his pit stop? I did not notice that. Andy Rees is headed into second position. Another battle to watch at the end. Oliver goes wide. Klaus goes through. Still up into 7th. We did not notice it. Peter Sabot did not make a pit stop until the final lap. Andy Rees is in 2nd. Meanwhile, as this one continues here, Klaus still holding off. Another battle to watch. Battle for P2.
Careful when you give. Who are you talking to? Me?
Downhill. There we go. How close? One final opportunity for Oliver Bloch against Klaus Klint. Who's it going to be as they head down the mountain? Hairpin, Klaus, a little bit just wide. Slow and steady for Oliver. It's all about the chase section now to go for them. We'll return back to them in a moment because we got to head to this man here. Sven, the Dutchman, has done an amazing job, and how fitting he's catching up to the championship leader, his fellow countrymen. But this time, it's not Mike we're looking at, it's the driver behind. The Bathurst 12 hours goes to Sven. He wins it here at Bathurst. Australia goes crazy for the Dutchman. What a race that was for him. He takes the top. Meanwhile, Oliver's not going to be able to get it done on Klaus. Klaus will go through the 7th. And now our fight for second position here. Andy Rees is going to keep it ahead. Peter, going for the absolute biggest overcut of his life, heads into the final corner. Andy Rees will take second position. Back-to-back P2s. Peter and his TB Rees will take his podium in this one. What a race that was. We still have a couple drivers coming to the line. Costa will finish up into 4th position. Ben now coming around. He's down on the mountain section, as well as Van Dorn. Have they already came across the line? No, they haven't. Couple drivers still yet to finish their races. The checkered flag has come out to them. We are just making sure we don't have any battles to watch on our screens. Danny Nasir also heading down the mountain. He's actually got the Audi up ahead, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get to him in time. Oh, and Mike Van Dorn hits the wall there. Don't let the number on the top fool you. He is not in 11th position. Oliver Bloch and Klaus Klint, they're still having fun with each other. This race is over for the both of them. But an amazing fight between them, that is for sure. Danny Nasir is not going to be able to get Stephen Bola. And Bola, the Guyanese, is going to finish ahead of him as Turner will finish in 5th position. What a race from him as well. Top 5 result. AC. Drivers just finishing their races now. Bola finishes his one. Danny Nasir gets through across the line. That's your race complete. Sven will take a race win here at Bathurst. What an incredible race from all these drivers as the sun comes down once again. That's your race leader. Let's go talk to the drivers. What a fantastic race that was. All right, great racing. Pat on your backs for the drivers who have survived the mountain. Handful of retirements, but we get to our race winners now. Sven, you take the win. How does that one feel? You conquer the mountain.
I'm very happy actually. I didn't expect to take a win here. I didn't feel too comfortable about the pace, but in the race it was very consistent. I'm more than happy.
Take us through just the day-night cycle. How did that feel for you? Did that ever affect you at all? And how was lap traffic for you?
Well, lap traffic was like a mixed thing. Some people were a bit tricky to overtake on the top of the hill. And I think the day-night circle didn't really affect me at all. I pulled the same times in the night as in the day.
Career best for you. P1, the best place to finish on the top of the board, and to do it at Bathurst, it's got to be sweet, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, congratulations. You're going to shoot right up in the points. Great race win there for you. Congratulations, P1.
Thank you, man.
And P2, Andy Reese. Andy, we did not see you in P2 the whole race. We were more just holding on to the podium. But after a late pit stop from a driver ahead of you, Andy, you take second position, back-to-back P2s. How does that feel?
Well, definitely didn't expect it. You know, I definitely expected a podium, like at least that was my goal. And you know, P3 looked like very set in stone for this race. I mean, I'm pretty sure he did a two-stopper. Like, I'm pretty sure he probably did bring enough fuel. Maybe didn't calculate the extra final lap at the end. I'm pretty sure I saw him pit earlier as well. But very, very unexpected. But yeah, you know, all the laps you spend, you know, with 20 seconds ahead and 10 seconds behind, you know, but you're still pushing because, you know, anything could happen, and this just proves that. So very, yeah, very satisfying when that pays off in the end.
That's going to help you big time in the points of this championship, knowing the championship leader was not able to finish ahead of you and is a little bit behind you. But Andy Rees, congratulations on second position. Great result from you.
Thank you.
Third position, Peter, do we have you on the mic?
You're muted.
Just see him muted there. I'm not too sure if he knows. Peter. Not hearing him at the moment. I think, yeah, he looks to be muted, right? Peter, you are muted. I'm not too sure if you're at your rig right now. All right. Well, not to worries there. I'll come back from the stream and we'll talk about the race a bit. But overall, congratulations to our winners. A great race out there. We had a start of 20. We had a lot of stuff go down throughout that race. So we're going to talk about it after this one. But thank you for supporting, of course, Bathurst 12 Hour. We haven't seen Bathurst since 2023. So it's good to be right back here on the mountain. Don't worry, we're not going to be visiting this track for the foreseeable future. So hopefully you enjoyed that one. That was a great race for you guys. Congratulations. We're going to go end the stream now. You're free to leave if you have to. We're going to be getting started with the post-race debrief. And what a race it was. Wow. As the sun comes down beautifully here at Bathurst. Thank you so much for tuning in for that one there. S-Pixel, Luca. Oh, you telepathically made me. I think that was during the interviews there. What a fantastic race. I'm sweating there. That was absolutely fantastic racing from all those drivers there. Bathurst, it chewed up and it spit out a handful of drivers, but we get to the very end. Congratulations to all of them. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We are on course for 800 subscribers. We have had amazing support all week long. Thank you so much for 750. That was an amazing milestone. We're heading up into 800. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Like the stream if you've liked it already. Next week out, same time, same place. Paul Ricard, the French Grand Prix is next, and that'll be the third to last race. It's going to be round 6 of the championship. Can't wait. Hope to see you there. But without further ado, that's going to end it off here on today's broadcast. We'll see you next week out in France for the championship.